Alright guys, you know I do some crazy shit on this channel. Fishing and fixing cars and houses and stuff, but I got me one hot dog. Good boy. Good boy. We got this grill a year ago from Amazon. I've cleaned it probably 4 or 5 times. Degreased it. And it is just falling apart. It's completely rusted. So I didn't pay a lot for it. I paid about $250 for it. And I've used it quite a bit, as you can see on my channel. Look at all the cooking videos. I'm going to try to get another year out of it. I bought new burner plates. The ones that are in it completely disintegrated into powdered rust. So I got it kind of cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to scrape it. I'm going to take a wire wheel to some of the stuff in here. And I got 2 cans of grill paint, the cheap Rustoleum grill paint. And we're going to just clean this up the best we can, make it look as good as possible, make it work. We'll start here on the side burner. This is stuff I expect right here, like that and that, you know, but once you get to the body of the grill, you start to really see the severe rusting. Now don't get me wrong, look at the outside. It's a little dirty now because I just sprayed it down. But I mean, look at the outside, it looks great. You think, oh wow, what a nice grill. Until you look in there. Look at that, guys, that's just about a year of use. And there was a couple of times where I went 2 or 3 weeks without using it. But you know, about a year of use every week. It's completely obliterated with rust. It's one of the worst condition grills I've ever seen after 1 year. I've had quite a few grills in my old man lifetime. The whole back is all rusted. This I think I can clean up, hit it with that grill paint. That's unsavable. So I got a piece of metal, I'm gonna repair that. But right now it's gonna catch all the crap as it falls. And I got an old easy up wall here that's gonna catch the rest. I used white because I can see where all the crap falls. But I'm gonna go around and on the outside, this outside doesn't get super hot. It gets hot. So I've used this stuff before, and it works pretty good. I've even got it on mufflers and exhaust pipes and things, and it didn't burn off. But I'm gonna use it for its rust reforming chemicals in it, not for the coating. I'm just gonna paint everything with that. If it burns off, so be it. And inside, I'm gonna paint with the grill paint. But on the outside, I'm gonna use this sort of as a primer to knock all this rust back, because there's no way to do anything. You can't sand that off. So that's what we're gonna do today, is we're gonna go ahead and just get this thing ready for the grill paint. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get to cleaning this thing up and see how it goes. First thing I'm gonna do, take this little guy and just kind of knock all the loose stuff off. Now this is what I normally do every 2 or 3 months to this grill. Not the paint scraping and the rust scraping, but the grease scraping. Because once the grease gets too far along, you really can't get it out of there unless you use some sort of solvent. And you know, that's a pain in the ass. And you know what's funny is I use this grill on convection. I don't cook on this side very often. But look at that. There's more paint coming off this side than there is the side that I actually cook the meat on and stuff that spatters. So maybe the meat grease reduces the rusting. I don't know. Let's take that lid off. I think that's the right way to go. Just tell me what you think that is. Like just cheap Chinese metal? 'Cause I've had the charbroil grills that were made out of steel and they didn't rust like this. I think we might be just dealing with really cheap Chinese steel. Maybe we'll get Tony, the neon sign guy, to explain it. No substitute for quality. Yes, Tony, you are right. But when I bought this, I was hoping to get 3 or 4 years out of it. And the reason I did that was because I've had the Gen Airs and I've had the stainless steel grills that are $1,000 or more. And they only last 10 years. The burners only last 2 years anyways. So I figured screw it. It always helps to have scotch when you're doing crap like this. Let's get at it. I don't really think there's much need in doing that. This top right here seems like it's just more rust underneath rust. As good as that's gonna get. It's starting to fall apart a little, so let's give this side a little run. This shit coming off. Oh my God. Well, if we ever have a war with China, their ships are going to fall apart like this. All we got to do is... Like that, because it's loose. Most of it's going down into the tray, which is good. So I left that tray in there. All it's good for is catching the grill itself as it falls apart. Sort of like a self-catching grill. Every time a hunk of rust falls, the grill catches it. Keep it in the family. Oh, it's still rusty, man. Come on. I thought it was fixed. So we're just gonna go ahead and slap this Rustoleum rust converter on it. And I'm gonna let it dry for a couple of days. So you guys will while all the dirt was flying. That's mad at me. Who else loves these little things that Amazon puts on here? If you guys have ever used this stuff, you know what I mean. It's really not the kind of paint you're going to get any finesse with. Hang out with me, Winston? It's kind of watery. Eastwood makes a product like this, but it's an encapsulator. It's not really much of a paint. So when you use that, you've always got to go back over with paint. I think what will happen is this stuff will just burn off. Before I put the grill paint on here, I'll light the grill and I'll let it burn for a little while. And that'll kind of burn off any of the paint that's in this after it's converted all the rust. That's my trick. Is if you just try to go paint right over this, you're going to seal in that paint that's in this, and then you're going to end up with all of your grill paint flaking off when this stuff starts to burn. So after you paint it with this, make sure you burn it off. See, it's rubberized. It's going on like rubber.
Stuff dries fast too, guys. Minutes. If you're using it, know that. Of course, we're putting a good outdoor paint job here without a giant rainstorm in the future.
You don't want to get this on you, Winston. Then will be spot. I will say this stuff it's really nice underneath the car. You're painting rusty frames, any rusty suspension parts and stuff. It sticks and it lasts for years. You know, you got to do the wire wheel and get all the surface rust off, the loose stuff. But man, you go underneath your car and clean it all up really good with a pressure washer, and then coat all your rusty parts underneath with this stuff, and it looks great. Get out of there. No, get. Put you back inside. Stop being nosy. Painted all around that burner. Coated everything over here with that stuff. Everything that was rusty. Might have a little touch up tomorrow when I get it out in the sun. I'm sure I will. No biggie. Maybe stop the rust for a little while. Now this has got to dry for a day or two, and then I'll burn it off. And all that'll do is it'll burn off the rubber binder, and then it'll just leave the converted rust, which I can paint over with the grill paint. So yeah, it's pretty gooey stuff. Never used it on a grill before. It worked. I've actually painted cast iron exhaust manifolds with it before, and it just baked into this like black heavy coating. So I'm hoping that's what it does here too. All right, see you in a couple days. Alrighty then. Took a few runs off here and there. A little more rust over here that I noticed didn't take care of, but for the most part, it knocked it all back. I even sanded a few spots in here to see if the rust was popping through like it was over here. But apparently right there I must not have coated it good enough or whatever, but this side did really well. So got a little rust there, so let's see what we got here. I noticed there's a few spots. Just a few little spots where I noticed that there was still some rust bubbling underneath. Other than that, stuff worked pretty good. And I'm sure, you know, if I tried to grind on that, it would probably have rust under it. Let's see. A little bit. Looks like it converted it most of the way. Yeah, I got silver there. Now I'm going to use Rustoleum paint on this, grow paint. So any rust that is popping up or showing itself, Rustoleum has that stuff in it. That's why they call it Rustoleum. So that'll finish it off. Alright, let's mask this off real quick. Yeah, I'm not using masking tape. Don't freak out. $6.99. Now this is going to be flat. That's no big deal. At least it won't be rusty. I'm going to hit the few little rusted spots I cleared up first. Naturally spray away from your silver. You can coat this really fast, right, one after another. We're just trying to make this thing stop rusting, at least for another year. If I wanted it to look pretty, I would have spent more money on paint, more money on prep. Truth of the matter is, your steak don't care what your grill looks like. Let's see, I got just a little bit of rust that was popping through over here. Hit that first.
Flotsam or jetsam? Got some scratches there. Just a little more to cover. You can see how badly rusted that tray is underneath in comparison to the rest of it. Now, if you run, there's a little bit of rust showing here, so I just came along and scraped this, but it did a really good job of converting.
Now it looks like one of them charbroil grills from the 70s. But it ain't all rusty. All right. Now I did burn this off. I ran the grill for probably about 30 minutes on low on all 4 burners. And it really didn't affect the paint job on the inside. So I'm gonna just hit it with a coat of this grill paint here. This is stainless steel, so I'm gonna scrape that clean.
Everything else is going to get painted. Got a little on burner, but that ain't no big deal. And catching me a little bit. Make sure you get all up in your little corners and stuff. It'll be shiny. This is just a stop.
Pop the rust so we can get another year out of it. Spray it in there. Some of it's gonna burn off. It's not all gonna stay perfect, but you wanna get a good 2 coats on it. Let that dry in the sun like I'm doing right here. I got a fan blowing the fumes away from me. And you know, if I get another year out of this, I'll be a happy boy. So we got us some new burner plates. As you can see, this one doesn't look like this one because they were a little too tall. So I went ahead and just put this one on the floor and just stomped it with my foot until it was flatter. And we'll do the same with this one. This one still has its little tabs. I'll show you how that works. And that should work perfectly. That should do the trick for what we need. This ain't no rocket science. Squish it down. Like so. Looks like we still got a little bit of our tabs left here. We'll use them when we can. And when they fall off, we'll make new ones. Alright, so we need something to hold these guys up. So I'm just going to put a screw here. Screw there. Stainless steel self-tappers. These little guys. Okay. Beautiful. You notice if it pulls this way, it's just gonna, they're usually just held in there by weight. There's your tip. There's a tip. Don't lose your tip. And yes, they're sticking out the back, but no one cares. There's no one back there. Okay. Got us some new plates now. They're locked in. Put some screws in there to keep them in place. Still had a few of our tabs intact. Bend those over if you want, just to keep them from. Here we go. All right, those should stay in there pretty well, unless I go cooking on a mountain, sliding down the hill. Let's do the satisfying part. Everybody loves the satisfying part. Best part about YouTube. pressure washing. Peel and tape. Hit that one more. Set my drill down. Roughed it up a little bit. Still not perfectly dry. There's a spot. A little touch up here and there, but we're not going to get carried away. All right. This thing's ready for another year of cooking whatever. Just got to get my piece of sheet metal out. Put that on top of that tray down there. This thing will be ready to use. Not as easy as it gets. It's cost $7 times 2 for the spray paint. I already had the paint for another project I'm doing, the rust paint, so I'm not gonna calculate that in because it barely even touched the can. And then $18 for the burner plates. So that's a total of $32 shipped to the house for all the parts from Amazon. And it is ready to go. See you next time we're cooking. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope y'all, I don't know, hope you don't have to try this out. Hope you don't have a grill that's such a piece of crap. But if you do, give it another year. Don't throw it away. Peace.